G'day, I'm Karen Marie, welcome to Life in the Bush. It's a beautiful winter's day here in Perth and I've brought you out to introduce you to this small tree beside me. It's a very important tree around the Perth region in natural bushland and its name is Banksia menziesii. Banksia menziesii is one of the most common Banksia trees around the Perth region, which is where I am today. And I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that the land I'm standing on today is the traditional lands of the Noongar Aboriginal people. And I will explain to you in this video why this tree is so important to the Noongar people. Now, the leaves on Banksia menziesii are toothed like a saw, and they can get up to about 25 centimetres long, which is often longer than the height of the flower spike. The tree trunk and the branches have quite an interesting gnarled spreading habit of growth, and the bark is quite lumpy and sort of crumbly. The flowers are on display from late summer or early autumn through to late winter or early spring, so a good part of the year, and they're a very important source of nectar for local birds and insects, and if they're around, honey possums. I chose to show you this Banksia menziesii because there are a few flower spikes here that are all at different stages. This one here is the youngest and the lower flowers have not begun to open, so these are the fresh new flowers that have a bit of a pinky and grey look to them, and this one at the back here is a little bit older and the flowers at the base of the flower spike have begun to open. This is why Banksia menziesii has such unique looking flower spikes, because the flowers at the base of the spike begin to open before the flowers at the top. Gradually there's a succession of flowers opening and that creates that two-toned effect you can see. This one up the back here, all of the flowers have finished opening, and this one at the front, they've finished opening and this one is starting to die off. Here's an example of the inflorescence in full flower, and this one here, can you see just those last little bits of flowers that have finished? They're about to fall off. So this is the flower spike that's underneath all of these flowers. If fertilisation has occurred, then the follicles will begin to form. And just up here, you can see this large follicle has grown on this flower spike. And that large follicle has already opened to release its seed. The botanical name Banksia menziesii is derived from two gentlemen's surnames. The genus Banksia was named after Sir Joseph Banks. The species name menziesii was named after Archibald Menzies. The common name for Banksia menziesii around the Perth region, there's two that people sometimes use. It can either be referred to as the Menzies Banksia or the firewood Banksia. And the firewood Banksia name simply comes from the fact that people used it for firewood. Thankfully, I'm very grateful now that it's an offence to clear native vegetation, so cutting down a tree like this to use it for firewood not only would be a terrible waste, but also against the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Now the Noongar name I have read is Mungite. So I mentioned earlier that this tree was important to the Noongar people. One of the reasons it's an important plant is because of the flower nectar. I'm told that the Noongar people would either suck the nectar directly out of the flowers, or they would take the flowers and soak them in water to make a sweet drink a bit like cordial. Now the Noongar people called that sweet drink Mangite or Mungitch. Something great about the Mangite or Mungitch was also the fact that it apparently helps to soothe a sore throat, just like medicine does today. The other reason why Banksia menziesii was important to the Noongar people was because they used the Banksia cone to carry fire from one campsite to another. Basically, they would start to burn a Banksia cone and let it smoulder And then when they needed to move from one campsite to another, they would carry that smouldering Banksia cone with them. And when they got to their new campsite, they were able to start a fire a lot quicker than if they had to start from scratch. Now, fire, as you can imagine, to a nomadic tribe of people is very important for warmth, for cooking, for light. So the Banksia cone was a really important tool for them. Well, I have enjoyed coming out to the bush today to introduce you to Banksia menziesii, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my future videos. I look forward to seeing you next time on Life in the Bush. Oh look, can you see the ants?